So without further ado, I'm going to call on Professor Daniel Floret to join me here on the stage. He's going to frame the session for us, the discussion. He's Emeritus Professor of Pediatrics at the Claude Bernard Lyon University in Lyon. He's the Honorary Head of the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit and the Pediatric Infectious Disease Unit of the University Pediatric Hospital of Lyon, etc., etc. I know you've had many roles in terms of clinical science and also in terms of overseeing public health from the point of view of the French regulatory authorities. So the stage is yours, Professor Floret.
Thank you very much. I must add that I have been the chair. I chaired the Comité Technique des Vaccinations, the French NITAG, through 9 years, ending in March 2016. First of all, I would say that I feel somewhat reluctant to speak on future vaccine. In the past, I was involved in many training sections on vaccinology. I used to close my talk by vaccine of the future. Unfortunately, I can retrospectively say that almost all the fantastic vaccines from innovative technologies I predicted 20 years ago did not cross successfully the Death Valley. Furthermore, I probably did not speak of any of the vaccine like pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, meningococcal conjugate vaccine, HPV vaccine, which have actually been registered. But it's probably because I had not the good information. As I said previously, I was strongly involved in official vaccine recommendations. I would like to stress on the important gray area experts have to deal with at the time to decide whether to recommend or not a vaccine and for which population. In the development of new vaccine, efficacy, effectiveness studies should be the rule. Are we fully confident in correlate of protections? They should consider as a presumption of efficacy, not a proof. I heard yesterday at the workshop on new methods to develop vaccine, human challenge, and so on. This technique may be useful in certain circumstances at initial stage of development of a vaccine, but I don't feel a recommendation can be made on such studies only. For example, specific populations are immunocompromised patients may benefit of vaccination, sometimes more than the general population, but studies are missing with respect to this population. Comparative studies between two vaccines are not performed, and as the design of clinical trials is generally different, it's impossible to compare them. When I said with respect to efficacy, what I said with respect to efficacy is also worse for safety. Simplification, acceleration of procedure is asked. We can agree. But the decision to introduce a new vaccine in the general population must be supported by strong scientific evidence. Some delays between marketing authorization and recommendation, which has been stressed yesterday, can also be explained by uncertainties of the experts. Vaccine hesitancy is an important problem in Europe and particularly in France. How to restore the confidence in vaccination? Of course, I have not the solution. An important point is to be able to prove that most vaccinations are quite safe. That needs good, non-biased, independent studies and strong willing from the authorities to fight the deleterious message of anti-vaccinationists. An important point is also to have more efficacious vaccine, particularly for vaccine used in large population in most countries. With respect to the future vaccine, having more efficacious influenza vaccine is one of my top priority. What is prone to give a better image of vaccination? As a Lyonnais, I must mention Charles Mérieux fighting the meningococcal epidemics in Brazil by developing a new vaccine and building in a very short time the factory to produce it. An increasing number of people are reluctant to use existent vaccine, but at the same time, as a new infectious disease emerges, ask, why is there no vaccine to fight this disease? We spoke yesterday on Zika virus, but Ebola, chikungunya, MERS-CoV. Rapid production of vaccine for emergent disease is a real challenge. In these circumstances, the procedures should certainly be simplified and accelerated. It's possible to anticipate. Is it possible to anticipate some epidemics? It's probably the case for some of them. In that case, it's not possible to prepare. Is not it possible to prepare pre-vaccine using, for instance, the mock-up model and developing the prime boost strategies? Finally, I don't know what will be the future vaccine, nor the innovative technologies to produce them. The important point is that this new vaccine should be accepted. That means represent an answer to concern of the population, emerging disease, but also TB, HIV, and others. For other disease, it's necessary that the proof is provided. They represent an answer to a public health problem that needs a strict and not debatable evaluation of safety, efficacy, and cost effectiveness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. One question, I've got two linked questions actually. You said that for better evidence we need comparative studies, yes, that there's no head-to-head comparisons of vaccines in the field. And you also said to overcome vaccine hesitancy, we need good, unbiased, independent studies. Both of those kind of asks are quite substantial in terms of the need, aren't they? Because it's very difficult to do large-scale field studies even with one vaccine. To get the populations together, to roll it out, it's expensive and it takes a lot of logistics. And unbiased independent studies suggests that these would be carried out by public health authorities, not by industry, for example. Maybe not. And I'm just wondering how those two things can be tackled. What you're talking about is strengthening the clinical evidence base for vaccines. Is it a question of money or will or something both that is lacking here?
I understand it's difficult, but I think it's very difficult to recommend a vaccine if you have not the proof that the vaccine is good for the population. The marketing authorization is provided as it has been proved that the vaccine is efficient and safe at an individual level. Mm-hmm. But experts who recommend the vaccination have to make the recommendation for the population. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's not enough what is produced to demonstrate the vaccine is efficient and safe is not enough at a population level. I understand it's difficult, but we have to face with vaccine hesitancy, and population is not prone to accept.
And do you think vaccine hesitancy arises from the complex questions of an insufficient clinical evidence base, or is it something more emotional and even political, a distrust of all authority, a distrust of multinational pharmaceutical companies, a distrust of government authority, an adherence to conspiracy theories? What do you think are the main drivers of vaccine hesitancy?
It's difficult to say. Everything you listed are involved, of course. But from the point of the expert must be able to say, we recommend this vaccine because we have strong scientific evidence, non-biased, that the vaccine for the population is efficient and safe.
Okay. Thank you.